Hey, so it's been a while. My life got a little crazy, but it's settling back down. I just watched a documentary with Joe last night all about global warming. And, I knew what we were doing was damaging the planet. I think we all know that. I wanted to just really quickly share a small thing that I was speaking to my nieces about this, and I do think that it's our responsibility of our generation, because we are becoming more enlightened and are becoming more aware of what we are doing to the earth. Our coral reefs are dying. We're burning down the rainforest. All of those things helped contain all of the CO2 and the carbon monoxide and all the things that we're sending up in the environment. Those things buffered it and fixed it for us, and we are depleting these things. So we're not cutting back on how much we're putting out. In fact, we're just growing in numbers of how much we're putting out, and we are depleting all of the natural ways to clean and purify. So anyway, I was educating my nieces. I was trying to educate it with air of we are not doomed, because we are not doomed. If we realize, some people really like to say that humankinds are so arrogant to believe that we could shift the earth. Well, I think that if you really realize that we are doing this, then you will also be empowered to realize that we can fix this. It's not too late. I believe in humans, and I believe in our kind, and we are smart and inventive and can do anything we put our mind to. But that's just it. We have to put our mind to it. And so I'm teaching my nieces this on the way to school today, and my niece Brooke, this is the first thing she does. Please don't talk about this. Plugged her ears and asked me not to talk about it. That is how the majority of humans are treating this issue. I understand it's scary. I'm fearful. I have faith in us, but we have done some damage that we will probably suffer some really bad bite back about. I don't think that it's something we can't overcome, but it is a reality. I'm a little nervous and a little frightened because I have a 2.5-year-old, and what is her world going to be if we don't realize this, and if we don't band together as a human species to fix this problem that the human species has caused. And like I said, if without accepting and taking responsibility, there's no way of improving. I'm truly confused as to why money, this fictitious thing that we made up, has been the cause of this not being addressed and been the cause of this being denied and not being a real thing. It's all money. Money is made up. Money is not happiness. Money is not anything except for a fictitious thing. Look at the evidence. We are now in an electronic world. Our money is made up. We're swiping cards. We're not even trading coins and dollar bills that represent money. We are swiping cards. Let go. Please let go of your attachment to money and realize what we're doing. And like I told my nieces, all of the vehicles and the fossil fuels and things like this, that is literally driving us into the ground and killing our planet. But one of the biggest leaders of our problem is beef. Cows. They're incredibly silly to have chose that animal is like our main consumption. They're large, they eat so much, they poop so much. While they're chewing their food, they are letting off more gases and more harmful gases. One of the gases from a cow equal 10 of driving a car, electricity, any other fossil fuel burning. So what I would really love to see in the world, and I know I talk about veganism or plant-based a lot for the health benefits, because obviously that's the most personal growth that I've had in my life since becoming plant-based and not buying meat and not buying dairy. But I've kind of always known that those were unhealthy and that there was a healthier option, and it's eating plants, you know. But if we're being realistic, I just got a little too educated to how much money is involved in livestock, aka cattle. We are depleting acres, hundreds of acres of rainforest to supply the food for these cattle, the area for them to roam, which is becoming smaller and smaller, and that's why our cows are getting sicker and gross. And you're eating those hormones of fear and unhappiness, and it's causing us to live in fear and unhappiness. And that is why we are choosing to not see the reality of this situation. We are literally consuming fear. And the biggest thing around this subject is the fear. Who isn't afraid that we are ruining our planet? We're so afraid that we're leaving our planet looking for another planet to inhabitate, to live on. I don't know the correct term. Because we are so afraid of what we're doing. We need to look fear in the face and make a change. And make a change now. We do not have the luxury of time anymore. We have known about this for many, many years. It's time. In fact, we're running out of it. And we all need to make that switch. And like I said earlier, the biggest support and the biggest help and the biggest thing you can do individually without talking to a government official, without talking to anyone, anywhere, just you making the change to not buy beef and to not buy dairy. If these industries stop receiving money, these will not be industries anymore. Stop buying processed foods. We are cutting down also acres and acres and acres of these rainforests that are our filter. They are what's keeping our oxygen breathable. And we are cutting it down to plant trees for palm oil. Palm oil is the least expensive plant vegetable oil out there, and it is in every processed food because it's cheap. And that is what processed food is all about. Making the most product with the least amount of money and selling it for money. Please help our future generation to still have a land to live on. We're killing our planet. And by you choosing to not eat beef or buy beef and not buying dairy products and not buying processed foods, sticking to the outside corner of our grocery stores with fruits vegetables, nuts, seeds, and legumes. You eat those 5 things, you will have everything in your diet that you need. All of these beef and dairy industries that are telling you that you need nutrients from beef and dairy are straight up lying. They are lying to you to sell a product. And they are making processed foods processed to the perfection of taste and addiction and marketing this to our children. These beautiful, perfect children that have no way, literally mentally, they have no way yet of seeing like, this Dorito chip is unhealthy, so I'm not going to eat that anymore. They don't do that. They don't know that. Their brains physically can't not put that Dorito in their mouth. All these things get fired in their brains of the sugar, the salt, the fat, all the things our brain have been developed from our ancestors to like. Because if you found a hive of honey in the wilderness, you were eating until you were sick. Because that was fuel, that quick fuel for people that traveled thousands of miles, for people that hunted for days at a time without coming home with an animal, for people that gathered for the majority of their day to gather enough food for their community. This quick energy was priceless, and our bodies made it that way. Now we live in a world of abundance. And 90% of the food in our grocery stores have this quick energy that your brain is designed to want and to desire. And we as an adult can totally comprehend, not say that it makes it easy. I still struggle occasionally. But it's made so much easier when I keep continuing my education on why I'm choosing this lifestyle. And why I'm choosing, because I can only control me. I can share my message to others, and I can show them facts and try to educate them, but ultimately I can only control myself. And because of that, because I really wish I had more control, I wish I could walk up to the president and say, no more beef, no more fossil fuels. Put every dollar we have into renewable energy and agriculture. And not agriculture to feed beef. Do you know that over 80% of the land we use to grow food in America is to feed cows? 1%. 1% of America's land is devoted to growing fruits and vegetables for us to consume. That's wrong. I get really passionate, so I'm sorry if it comes across as like angry, because I am not angry. Like I say, I have all the faith in us. We truly just need to educate, because please don't talk about this has gone on too long. And we don't have time for that anymore. It's an easy switch. It seems hard, and at first you will go through a transition where the food that you're eating that's healthier and beneficial to the earth is not going to make your brain fire like processed food. It just isn't. But trust me, because I've literally done it, after that 2-week grace period of being like, oh my gosh, another salad, I feel like a rabbit, your body will start craving those things. And your taste buds will change. I eat so many more fruits and vegetables than I've eaten in my whole life in the last 3 months. Because not only is my body starting to crave these nutrients and realize that this is food and this is sustainable energy in my body, that this is quite frankly what we were designed to eat, like we fit together like a puzzle piece. The more they taste better. They're delicious. Not processed food delicious, but they're so good. And it's not, this is not fact, this is opinion. When you eat that way, when you cut out food-like substances, aka processed foods, and you start eating food, real food, you can't help but reconnect a little bit to the earth, to the real way of thinking, to seeing these things and not covering your ears. Because for me, I am making a difference. Every day I'm making a difference in the world by not buying meat and dairy. And so it's easier for me to hear these things because I'm helping and improving. I'm not stuck in my way and not willing to give up on anything, so there's no reason to be resistant to this information. And I truly hope, and quite frankly I know, I mean, I've got nieces that live with me now that are 11 and 13, and they're receptive. We've had sugar talks. I've like showed them the physical amount of sugar in the things that they were eating and drinking, and they were shocked. Their eyes almost bulged out of their head. They just couldn't comprehend that. And since that conversation, they don't fight me about not having soda. They don't fight me about not having real juices as opposed to the corn syrup with a little splash of apple in it type of juices. Both of them are becoming so much more willing to try plant-based alternative foods to some of their favorite foods, because they are children. I'm not trying to say you have to eat a smoothie of juice and a salad a day like I try to. They are children and they've lived their whole 11 and 13 years eating a certain way. And I personally made my choice to stop that just abruptly one day, and I would like to give them that choice as well. But what choice I'm really not letting them choose is what we bring into our home. Because unfortunately for them, they are children, and myself and Joe are not letting those things in our home anymore. Like, we're not buying them. When we do occasionally go out to eat, the girls are more than welcome to make their own decisions. I have no say on what they order, really. They can choose to order whatever they want, and I'm so pleased because every time it gets better, and a little bit healthier every time. And the girls are, like I said, they're not fighting against me quite so much. They're a little bit more on board and are like, okay, it's new, but I'll try it. They don't like everything. I don't expect them to like everything. But because I personally am on a health food journey, I have totally been willing and able to experiment and try different things to make them like that food. And as for my 2-year-old, she asks for almond milk. She knows, like, she will grow up believing that meat and dairy is ridiculous. Like it is. So, I love you all. I really do. All of mankind. Good, bad, poor, rich, black, white, gay, straight. We're all the same. I think that we have done way too much learning to still try to stick us in categories and boxes. We are all humans, and we are all responsible for this. And it's not our fault, but it's our responsibility to change it. And I ask that if you'll just share this with someone else, then my viewers will share it, and it will double in viewers, and then those persons will share it, and that will double in views, and so on and so on. Because they're facts now. You know, it's not global warming and like destroying our planet is not a theory anymore. We've literally started seeing it start. There are islands that are no longer. The ocean levels have risen and wiped out all of their ancestry, all of their history. We find all these cities under the bottom of the ocean where we're like, what happened, I wonder? Let's not be that civilization that gets lost again and has to be dug up and translated. Let's be the generation that changes it and take pride that although we did almost destroy the earth, we brought it back. And we can do this. And we will do this. We'll have no choice. We will do this. Let's just do it before any other repercussions that aren't reversible happen. I know we can do it. Share this. Let's share. Let me, I guess, wrap up my challenge. Even for 1 month, please cut out purchasing, even when you're out to eat, beef and dairy. It seems large, but it's only a month. And after you cut that out for a month, I know that your mind will be different and your thoughts will be different, and you'll be more receptive to these words from these scientists that are facts. They're not made up. These beef industries are wealthy enough to know the right people with the right credentials to say, hey, I'll give you $1 million to say this isn't true, just enough to confuse us just a little bit. All they need, they don't even have to make us believe that it's not real. They just have to confuse us a little bit. Let's not let that happen anymore. We're way too smart for that. A month with no meat and dairy will not be the end of the world. And we're so blessed to live in a world that has so many alternatives. You don't even have to change what you're eating. Just find a plant-based version of it. They're out there. And as for the money/investment, like I said, get rid of that attachment to money. If you spend more money on your food, you're investing in yourself. You're investing in your productivity, you're investing in your sleep, you're investing in your home, on your work. If you invest on you, you will come up with way better products, way quicker, and way more efficiently. Let's put our money where our mouth is. And let's change this problem by voting with our dollars. So please, I challenge you, 1 month, no beef or dairy. And if we can really share this worldwide and really get enough people on board, the results will not be able to be ignored. And not only in America, but the rest of the world. America is, quite frankly, for lack of a better word, and if you haven't seen the Hunger Games, you're missing out. We're the capital. We live in luxury with a way too much abundance, like gluttonous style. Let's let go of that. It's not happiness. Let's show the rest of the world that we're serious about this. And that this is real. And we're willing to give up some of our luxuries to make a change. It's going to speak volumes, not just in America, but the world, if Americans give up their beef and dairy. Love you.